What is up, boys? Today, we are going to be covering the New England Patriots roster. This is Dan from DNR Sports. I've been gone for a little while. Came out with that Tampa episode yesterday. But we're just getting back into it. Had some, work-related shit got to get done. Had to take some time away from this. Been living in a different house for a little bit, but we back. So, New England. Obviously, this is a completely revamped team, both offense and defense. We have Cam Newton as the starting quarterback for now, in my opinion. I don't think Mac Jones will get much play time until towards the end of the season, maybe halfway through, towards the end. I do think he is the future. So let me get this straight. I think before Mac was there, I think that Cam was criminally okay. The hate was too much. The hate was too much. He had nothing to throw to last year. We all know this. There was when Jacoby Myers is your wide receiver one. You know there's an issue. Jacoby Myers has literally been a wide receiver 5 his whole career. He's not a stud by any means. He's slow. He's never outrunning. Like he's not a good receiver. He was the only person that Cam could even throw to last year. It was pathetic. It was honestly pathetic. Poor Julian Edelman couldn't catch a break with his injuries. Couldn't even play. That was Cam's only help at the beginning. Like in the Seattle game when Cam looked like he had an ounce of throwing ability in him. But anyways, besides that, Cam last year really struggled. I'm not gonna lie. Even besides the terrible receivers, 8 touchdowns. Like, wow. Like, are you even playing quarterback at that point? I know he had a bunch of rushing TDs, but I literally couldn't care less. These receiver numbers: 24th in total yards, 26.57. That's pretty trash. 8 touchdowns, 33rd. That means obviously a backup outpaced him. That's terrible. 10 interceptions. When you if you have more interceptions than touchdowns, you really shouldn't be playing. And then QBR of 47. That's obviously terrible. I'm gonna chalk a lot of it up to the receivers and the tight ends once again for just not being good enough. But at the same time, I can't let go that was a bad performance. I think this year will be much better under Belichick. I think that with Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith coming in, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, some actual I say actual weapons, but they're all right weapons. We're not giving Cam studs here, but I think the way that this team is going to be coached is really going to keep them in the conversation for a potential playoff team. Just because, obviously on paper this roster is horrible, bottom 5, terrible. Besides the O line, the skill positions are just atrocious on both sides of the ball here. Okay, what? That's just not true. The cornerbacks are good. I'm sorry. The skill positions on offense are terrible. Anyways, back to Cam and Mac. I think Mac will be what Bill wants in this. Like, Bill doesn't want to have to draw up a whole scheme for Cam to be able to run the ball and for Cam to be able to do Cam things, which, isn't exactly what he's been doing his whole career, because Tom Brady's never ran at all, so he's never had to do that. McDaniels is gonna have some fun on the goal line. Obviously, Cam's like a beast on the goal line, but just the way things are shaping up in preseason and in the training camps. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos of Mac Jones versus Cam Newton in their little throwing competitions. Not even competitions; they're just practicing. Cam looks bad, man. Like he's missing just wide open routes to receivers. Like he's just missing throws, just completely off target. I don't know if it's the shoulder acting up, the shoulder that he had surgery on 2 years ago. I don't know what it is, but he's not looking good. Mac was hitting everything. So I think after, probably, I'm going to say they start the season 3-4 or something like that, where their defense plays solid and their O-line plays solid and they get by based on their rushing upside with Cam and Damien Harris. But I do believe after that, Bill's going to be like, all right, Josh McDaniels, we got to switch it up. Mac's got to go in. Mac's got to give us that little bit more upside for the throwing ability. Like Nelson Aguilar's out here just running fly routes and nothing's even going near him. So I think after that, they'll probably go, in my opinion, about 8 to 9 wins, I'm going to say, with Mac. So overall record 9-8 or 8-9, right, with the new 17 games. But moving on, we'll talk a little bit about these running backs. Damien Harris, we know, is not a pass catcher. He's basically Sony Michel, but just better. Sony Michel is dead, just completely dead. If he gets any playing time, this offense is just doomed. Damien Harris will be a good running back for them. James White will obviously take over his normal role, plus the Rex Burkhead role from last year. So he's going to be getting all the pass catching work as usual. And Cam, does like to dump it off. We've seen what he's done with CMC in the past. James White, I can't really say anything for last year because he did miss a lot of time. I think someone in his family died, and he missed like 4 weeks at the beginning of the season, and that kind of just ruined his playing time for the whole year. But besides that, I think their running game overall, including Cam, is top of the league. It's some of the best stuff when you pair it with this O line. Let's talk about the O line real quick before we get into the skill positions. So the O line on the Patriots was 4th last year according to PFF. Basically, like, they're just a bunch of really solid studs. They're none of the top names in the NFL, but the way they come together, studly. Joe Thuney, um, obviously had a great year. We can't take anything away about that. Now this year, when I'm looking at the PFF predictions for this year, they got him at 3rd, only behind Colts and Cleveland. So obviously the O-line is the strength of both sides of the ball. This is what's going to hold down the team. And great O-lines make things happen, man. It's like defense wins championships. Like, you're not winning a championship if you got that Russell Wilson O-line from like 3 years ago. That's just not happening. It's just impossible. We all know this. So obviously O-line top 5. That's going to make Cam's life a whole lot easier. And Mac Jones should thrive in that, to be honest. But moving on to the most important part of this team is the receivers and the tight ends. So Jacoby Myers, I don't know what has him as the wide receiver 1 here. He's not the wide receiver 1. He's not going to be for long. I know Cam had a decent time with him last year with the trick plays and shit like that, but I just don't see it. He's not a true wide receiver 1. I think Nelson Aguilar is the best receiver on this team. We saw last year with Derek Carr, his deep ball ability and tracking were actually like extraordinary. It was way different than his Eagles time. During his time with the Eagles, they had him playing in the slot the whole time. He was dropping every pass that came to him. Now they got him running these deep routes, and he's catching 50-yard bombs from Derek Carr. Like, it's making Derek Carr look like fucking Patty Mahomes out there. I love it. It was supposed to be Ruggs' job, but it's like, meh. Let Aguilar give it a shot. He thrived in that. Let's look at Aguilar's numbers from last year. I was very impressed. Almost 900 yards, 48 receptions, 8 TDs. The receptions, garbage. The yards and TDs, great. He was hella efficient. Yeah, 18.7 yards per game or per catch. Holy frick, that is insane. 2nd overall in the league, as you can see. But moving on to Kendrick Bourne. Similar-ish type of performance. Almost 700 yards, only 2 TDs, 49 receptions, 13.3 average depth of reception. I do think that Kendrick Bourne is a typical wide receiver 3 or 4. I don't think he's anything special. I don't think it really relieves Cam at all. He's just meh. So I'm not going to say Cam has all the help in the world when it comes to the receiver position. Jacoby Myers, will take his stats real quick. 0 touchdowns. That's what I'm just like super concerned about. He's not a stud. 59 receptions, 729 yards. Fine. It's fine. Moving on to Hunter Henry. Last year did very average for a tight end. Nothing special. He's right in that big lump of tight ends after you get, Kelsey, Waller, Kittle. I know Kittle's injured, and, Mark Andrews, and I guess Kyle Pitts for this year. Like, he's right behind them pretty much in that big lump. 4 TDs, 600 yards, 60 receptions. Not bad. He was pretty underutilized in the Chargers offense. Keenan Allen and Eckler were obviously the main weapons there. I think coming over, he's not going to be like a Gronk or anything. They're not going to utilize him like that, but he'll be like a solid, just a net over the middle type of guy. Where I really think they'll use the tight end position with Jonnu Smith. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. They may put this man at halfback. You guys remember what Aaron Hernandez was doing when they had Gronk and Aaron Hernandez? Like, Hunter Henry will try to be Gronk. He's not going to be Gronk. He'll try to be Gronk. But I think Jonnu Smith can actually be Aaron Hernandez. This man is fast. You guys want to see a sick portfolio? Go on Player Profiler and look at Jonnu Smith. Look at this. 4.62. His SPARK score. Where's his SPARK score? 94th percentile. 6'3", 250, and he runs a 4.62. He's like George Kittle light, basically, without like the running in hands type upside. He's like a running back at tight end, basically. I think maybe he'll be like slightly less snaps than Hunter because Hunter's a better blocker. But I think the way they use him, they're going to utilize that speed. He'll play halfback. He'll play some tight end. I'm sure they'll play him out wide sometimes and send him deep. I'm not even kidding. He's basically wide receiver. And then we're moving on to defense here. The defense overall on this team is like roster-wise, middle of the road, not insane, nothing too crazy. But then you realize how they work with Belichick. And the main addition I want to cover, it's not a fancy name or everything, but Kyle Van Noy really works well with Belichick. And he went to the Miami Dolphins last year. You saw their defense was a lot better. I'm not going to credit that to Kyle Van Noy. I'm going to credit that to the sick DBs that they had last year. But Van Noy obviously played a little bit of a part. But they got J.C. Jackson and Stephon Gilmore at corner, which honestly could be the best corner duo in the NFL. I know we could say like the Ravens or whoever else, but it's a very underrated. Remember like 2 years ago how insane they were? Their defense alone in their first 7 games, if you only counted points that their defense scored, the overall team would have been 3 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie, based on only their defensive touchdowns. That's insane. The defense is not too changed from that team. They got Lawrence Guy, who's always, just a solid player for them. Devon Godge, I can't even say your damn name, dude, but coming over from the Dolphins. Whatever, he's a normal player. Matthew Judon actually had some nice seasons over at the Ravens. I like that pickup. I'm not even gonna cap. I don't know who the fuck Henry Anderson is. Let's find that out. Yeah, he's just a nobody. Let's just admit that. Unless you guys like, wait, yeah, he had half a sack last year. Let's not act like this man's good. All right, Deontay Hightower. Deontay Hightower. We all know he's a beast, a staple of the Patriots defense. And then we got Devin McCourty, one of the best like underrated safeties in my opinion in the game. They lost Jason McCourty. That's not good. Do not like that. But Adrian Phillips, old dude, he's like 30, I think. He's not going to fill in well at safety. I know McCourty didn't play safety like Jason McCourty, but I'm just saying like Adrian Phillips is not a great stud safety. This defense on paper, meh. Like great corners, decent linebackers that pair well with the coach. All right, D-line. But where it comes together is their relationship with Bill. And Bill's going to get him to do exactly what he wants. It's going to be one of those bend but don't break annoying defenses to play. Not going to give up, a lot of points. Probably going to average maybe, I'd say like 18 points a game allowed, something like that. Like I'd say it's a pretty solid low-scoring defense that doesn't have a whole lot of talent. It's going to be a lot of close games for the Patriots overall. No shootouts. There's no shootouts because if this offense gets behind, you're not letting Cam air it out. He's not going to air it out correctly. Mac Jones, I don't think will air it out either. I think he's the more pocket passer type of Brady, where it's like the Drew Brees dump it off to Kamara type shit with James White and over the middle and stuff like that. But overall, this team is very average. That's why I said the record will be 8-9 or 9-8. Very average, very tough to play, an annoying team to play. You don't want to play the Patriots. Whoever you are, you just don't want to play them because they might surprise you one week with a Belichick special. Anyways, if you guys liked the video, leave a like, sub if you're new around here, turn post notifications on so you guys can catch all that we're doing around here. Once again, my name is Dan, and I'll see you boys later. Peace.
Can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.